it's got to be getting there for the 5-star composite QB recruit Jadyn Davis, who is set to make we don't know the exact date yet, but that he is set to make a spring visit to meet Kirk Campbell in person. Of course, we know that Matt Weiss was his primary recruiter for a while. Matt Weiss had some issues, no longer at the university. Now Kirk Campbell, Jadyn said on a show, on an interview, that he wants to really get some FaceTime with him, and that may impact his decision. But with a 88% projection to Michigan and 5 crystal balls, that's it's looking promising. It's just, can Michigan close on this guy?
Yeah, I was trying to find who else is in the running. I know that I've heard it a number of times, but the offer list isn't going to tell me anything since there are 32. I was just trying to do a kind of a comparison between, what Michigan has to offer and others, but he's pretty much wanted by everyone. And coming out of the state of North Carolina, they are one on the offer list, along with Penn State, Tennessee, and Alabama, I see here.
Yeah.
Still competition.
Yeah, I did look up Tennessee because they're second right now in projections to get Jadyn. And they are visiting 4-star recruit Jake Merklinger is visiting in the coming weeks. So what it's looking like to me is that these other schools, they're not really yes, they want Jadyn. Of course they want Jadyn Davis, but they're not putting all their chips in the basket like Michigan has been. And maybe it's to their detriment, but Michigan can still say on the recruiting trail, whereas some of these others can't, with a straight face, Michigan can say, you're our guy, but it's time. Otherwise, gotta start talking to some of these other commits a little, or quarterback recruits a little bit more.
You do worry about putting all your eggs in one basket. I'm not saying that's what this Michigan coaching staff is doing, but because nowadays it's not just about getting the kid on campus; it's keeping the kid on campus and also having a contingency plan if he leaves in the transfer portal. That's just the nature of the beast of today. So that's always a concern too.
Yeah, transfer portal is big. Mark, you cover the transfer portal all the time and people coming in and out. And so, yeah, recruiting it's still important, of course, but the transfer portal has such an impact now on shaping teams at all levels, right?
Yeah, and what Dre's talking about right there is even trickier than it's always been. But that initial component has always been there, that if you're, regardless of what level you're at, but I think it's even more tenuous and delicate at the highest levels, because you're dealing with a 5-star and he's looking at seriously looking at 3 or 4 other top-notch schools. But if you drive all your resources, all your relationship building, everything toward him, he lets you down, then you're scrambling for something else. But at the same time, if you're giving it the optics of your courting 2 quarterbacks at that level at the same time, then neither one of them is going to necessarily trust you to be fully on board with them. And then,
well, it didn't affect Texas, Mark. They were able to get, bring in.
Every situation is different. Yeah,
I know. I'm just saying,
generalities.
Right. I got you.
Yep. Yeah. You're right. It all depends, because, we see these quarterbacks sometimes flee competition, and if they're really that good, they're going to find competition just about anywhere. So Quinn Ewers left Ohio State because he couldn't start, and he goes and he runs into, Hudson Card initially, and now it's going to be Arch Manning, and Malik Murphy's a 5-star. They're loaded with 5-stars. Shoot, Georgia's got 3 of them right now competing for a job.
Rich get richer. The rich get richer, and it goes back to, when we talked about, earlier this year when Michigan's chances versus Georgia, and, how realistic was it for them to win a national title? you know, it's funny, Mark, you just saying that, you know, the amount of 5 stars, a quarterback position at Georgia, right? You know, it's like, gosh, you know, here we're scrambling, scrapping, trying to get one.
Yeah,
Trying to
embarrassment
get
of
one.
riches over there.
Right. They're like, well, hey, you know, take your pick. You know, this kid's a runner, this kid's a passer. You know, hey, if one of them leaves, we'll just bring another one